They were neither hot nor cold, so I spit you out of my mouth. Folks, choose a side. Consciously choose what side you're on. Your gut tells you, and I know a lot of you got a tingle right now in your gut and in the back, and the hair on the back of your neck is standing up, because deep down you know the choice is here. A spiritual choice. Doesn't mean we're all perfect, doesn't mean we have all the answers, but just like King David did a lot of bad things, at the end of the day, his heart was right. He was a good person who loved God and loved righteousness. Fake Christianity is about a bunch of judgments and a bunch of Pharisees picking on each other and saying, I'm better than you, and following a bunch of written law instead of getting the law written on your heart. Okay, and number one, it's empathizing with the downtrodden. It's being against aggressive wars. It's being against poisoned food and water. It's being against things that are wicked. Evil is not sexy and cool. It's destructive. And I don't want to get into preacher mode here. It's just, folks, we are so wicked, myself included. We are all immersed in evil. What is evil? It's anti-life. It's that simple. Lovers of death, lovers of lies, lovers of corruption. They were wise in their wickedness, but ignorant when it came to discernment. We're going to come back with James Corbett, talk to William and others.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
All right, we're going to look into HAARP coming up in the next couple segments with Aaron Dykes. We've got some of that 2008 interview with the director of HAARP. His phone wasn't the best. He was from an Air Force base that's in Massachusetts, remotely controlling HAARP. In Alaska. They had a PR guy, the colonel, on the whole time. The whole interview is up at Infowars.com, but Aaron's got a lot of audio clips, but I want to just play short parts of it and then go into mainstream news articles showing that we weren't being told the whole story by him, and the weather modification and the fact that Dubai and others are now using HAARP-type arrays to manipulate the weather. They admit that that's what this does now. It's one of the things that it can do. James, I wanted to cram in a few final calls here for you with William, Pam, Barry, Luke, Nick. We'll get to all of them coming up, even if we have to go into overdrive today. But any other points you want to add from Japan?
Well, let me just confirm something that a caller was making on a point that a caller was making a couple of days ago on your program, that the school children here are still playing outside at recess, playing in the rain, and still being served milk every day at their school lunch.
Outside Fukushima, in the little town right there.
Right. Yeah. No. I was just reading reports about the graduation ceremonies they were having at evacuation centers there, and there's no reports whatsoever that any sort of precautions are being taken. And I can report that the kids are drinking their milk every day, just like always. And we know that milk is one of the key transmitters of the iodine-131 radioactivity. So, and that was.
But you're a conspiracy theorist, and so are the scientists that made them ship milk in for 6 months after all over Europe from outside Europe. Because of the bioaccumulation, they're all evil conspiracy theorists too. And culture is right. That milk is good.
Yeah, absolutely. We should be drinking it up and loving it. But it's just mind-boggling to me that no one's even thought to point this out or to make any sort of fuss about it. So it's going on right now, and I can report that.
Well, we'll definitely get you to pop in later this week or next week as well, as our guy on the ground there in Japan. Let's talk to William in Washington. William, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Alex, my family came here on the Mayflower, too, and we go all the way back. We had both sides on the Civil War, and I got 3 kids and 2 grandkids in this world. So, I'm watching what's going on here. I'm listening to your show, and I'm really concerned about this situation in Japan. I know that this radiation is cumulative and that it'll build up in our food chain, it'll build up in our body's organs and in our children, and it'll be very nasty down the road. My question is, where's the United Nations on this? Where's our Congress on this? Where's our elected leaders on this? Why aren't they saying to Japan right now, you've got to do what they did with Chernobyl, throw massive amounts of sand and concrete and stop these leaks right now?
What do you think about that, James?
He's exactly right. Absolutely. Suddenly, when there is the need for this type of international agency, they're turning tail and running. And the IAEA chief just came out the other day and said, "Well, we're not an agency that will deal with crises like these. We're not designed to respond to crises."
And by the way, the military is here to protect us. Supposedly, they've got assets and NBC assets for nuclear, chemical, biological, all over the Pacific, all over South Korea, all over Japan. And notice we're not getting any U.S. government readings, and they've got the specialized devices that pick up the exact isotopes and could be giving us pure forecast, but we're having to rely on private universities in France and England to do it.
Absolutely. It just gives the lie to the idea of humanitarian military intervention. If there was ever a time for it, it's here, it's now, but it's not happening. It's happening over in Libya, so we know what that's all about.
Oh, yes,
it's not about saving
very
people.
Humanitarian, backing up Al-Qaeda. Let's talk to Pam in Indiana real quick. Pam, you're on the air. Okay, Barry in California, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you very much, Alex. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Good. I need to get off speakerphone, right?
Yeah, we got about a minute left here.
Okay. So, I have a very important question. It has several parts, so please bear with me. I'll be concise. Since listening to your radio shows, I haven't gone outside of my house, and I've had all the windows and doors closed, so I need to know the actual radiation levels here in Northern California at any given location, not the low, harmless levels that the apologists in the nuclear industry are telling us, and how we can find this out for ourselves. We'd ordered the KI, and we have that now. We're supposed to take 130 milligrams. It sounds like a lot. I don't know when to start taking it.
Don't take it till they, I'm not going to give you advice on that. Again, you've got to follow the insert, talk to your physician, but they do have radiation meters at universities and government, and they're not really giving us specific numbers. They're just saying it's low elevations, not dangerous. Dr. Bob Bowman said basically 200 times safe levels. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.